Strange objects spotted from space could change our understanding of human history. When the satellites that orbit Earth scan our planet, they're able to locate underwater landmasses and other hidden formations that are invisible to the human eye. Even from miles above our planet's surface, these high-tech metal masses can detect the smallest nooks and crannies. Researchers at the satellite imaging firm Merlin Burrows spend their time studying the data they receive from space to learn more about our planet's makeup. When some stunning images from off the coast of Spain were examined, historians hoped they were the key to solving one of the Earth's biggest mysteries. Tim Akers is the head of research at private satellite imaging firm Merlin Burrows, and he works closely alongside CEO Bruce Blackburn at their headquarters in Yorkshire, England, analyzing the data their technology sends to Earth. The satellites the employees at Merlin Burrows work with do phenomenal jobs pointing out the locations of ancient ruins, old remnants of potential civilizations, and objects hid deep under the ocean floor. Recently, a new slew of photos sent back from one of their satellites had the employees particularly intrigued. There were odd formations found inside the Donana National Park in Andalusia, Spain. Scientists weren't sure what exactly they were seeing at first. This radar scan of a beach in southern Spain near the Donana National Park was said to show a massive foundation that was the focal point of a huge structure of some kind. But what was it? After looking at all the photos, the workers came to the conclusion that the unusual formations were once part of a massive harbor that stretched for miles across a vast inland sea. Can you imagine a harbor this size? If the scientists are in fact correct in their conclusion, the harbor looks something like this. At 75 meters wide and 5.5 miles long, who or what exactly was such an enormous structure trying to protect? Well, many of the historians who saw the Merlin Burrows photos truly believed they showed remnants of the lost city of Atlantis. While some people think the existence of Atlantis is all myth, others aren't quite so quick to draw conclusions. Still, the anecdotal evidence is compelling. One of the first recordings of Atlantis in literature is from the Greek philosopher Plato. He described an advanced civilization that had a massive harbor wall, a temple to the god Poseidon, and massive circular pieces of land. Could these usual ruins around the Donana National Park actually be the lost city of Atlantis? This ominous-looking man-made cavern near the site the readings came from is a 5,500-year-old burial tomb believers suggest may have been used by the Atlantean people. So what happened to Atlantis? It's said that the city succumbed to a cataclysmic natural disaster such as a devastating tsunami or volcano, sometime around 10,000 years ago, at the time of the last ice age. People have been looking for it ever since. There are other clues at the new site too. This odd stone formation was found on a beach north of Andalusia, Spain. The experts at Merlin Burrows claim it dates back to the time of Atlantis and isn't a Green or Roman artifact as some claim. When these massive structures were found on the beaches in southern Spain, samples were taken for examination. Experts found unusual mixtures of minerals like mica and potassium, proving that they were made by humans with an advanced understanding of science. Plato described everything he supposedly saw of Atlantis in great detail, which has convinced many of the scientists this evidence is different from previous sites thought to be the ancient remains of the maritime civilization. After taking into account the placement of all the formations from the satellite photos, this image is a computer mock-up of what the Merlin Burrows team believes Atlantis may have looked like. Of course, no one knows for sure what the city of Atlantis, assuming it's real, would have looked like. In many movies and television shows, it's presented as a functioning, vibrant underwater city full of water-breathing occupants. Divers from all over the world have explored underwater ruins they hoped were the actual remnants of Atlantis. And even though there may have been some areas that were convincing, Merlin Burrows believed they've pinpointed where it existed. Of course, there are plenty of people with all sorts of theories as to what happened to the aquatic empire. One theory is that although Atlantis did exist, it disappeared into the mysterious vortex known as the Bermuda Triangle. Another theory that many historians believe, based on the lack of hard evidence, is that Plato made up the whole thing. His description is actually a fictional vision of what an ideal civilization would look like. Whatever the truth is regarding Atlantis, it sure is an intriguing mystery. Of course, you can always take a trip to the Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island in the Bahamas for a relaxing taste of the lost city. It's hard to determine if the Merlin Burrows satellite actually found the remains of a supposedly fictional civilization from thousands of years ago. There are people on both sides of the argument, and those who do believe pose very interesting thoughts.